Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Coffee with Casey, where we get together every Thursday morning at about 10:30 and talk about the market conditions, strategies that are working, strategies that are not. As the market changes, strategies change, and we've talked about that, throughout the weeks. And I'm going to bring you up to date on the market a little bit later on. But today, I want to have a big announcement. Last week, I talked about our strategy of expanding the Casey Samson team. And what we are going to do was we don't have the bandwidth to train new agents. We have a lot of systems in place, a lot of tools we use. There's more sophisticated tools, and the track record of luxury homes is there. So what our plan was is to get top agents in specific markets, and then we would go in and work with them. They would join our team. We would work with them on capturing that market. So the reason I got into real estate was to help people. I said that's the number one thing, is to help people. They're getting bad advice. They're overpricing houses. The strategy is not correct. They're sitting on the market too long. They're losing a lot of money. And to be honest with you, over the last 2.5 years, we've been pretty busy. And now I start to see 50% of the homes withdrawing unsold, and I just couldn't bear it anymore. So by teaming up with top producers in certain market areas, it allows them to use our tools. We can price the homes correctly. We can sell them within the first 10 days. All the sellers win, we win. And basically what Casey Samson Team is, a network of number one top producers in their market area, which is fantastic. That good looking gentleman you see on the screen with us today is a guy named Ferris Eways, who is one of the top 5 listing agents in Samson Properties. Now, just so you know, we have 5,000 agents at Samson Properties. So Ferris Eways is one of the, I guess, a 60-something, only a 60-something could call a 40-something a rising star. But, Ferris is a rock star over at Samson Properties. He's an ex-football coach, which endears him to me. And what happened is Ferris has really got a lot of traction in becoming in the top 5 listing agents in the company. He really has a grasp of the market, and we talk a lot. So my first target, when I said we're going to team up with top producing agents, was Ferris. And he happens to work in a place called Willowsford. So we're going to talk to him a little bit today and get a feeling for Willowsford. Now, the cool thing about having a guy like Ferris on is if you take all the best practices of the Casey Samson team, which, we've got a really nice market share. We're number 1 at Samson. And then you take like the number 4 listing agent and you combine best practices, ours to him and his to ours. Now the whole team becomes stronger. And every time we put on another top producing agent, we get stronger and stronger and stronger in best practices. So Ferris, I can't tell you how thrilled I am to welcome you aboard to the Casey Samson team. You and I have been trying to get together on a team now for about 3 or 4 years.
Right.
Welcome aboard. We're glad to have you.
Thanks, Casey. I appreciate the introduction. Means a lot coming from you. When you called the other day, I think I told you this. Sometimes when you look at your phone, there's some calls you just can't miss. And I appreciate you involving me in what you do, and I'm looking forward to get to learn a lot from you and your team.
I'm looking forward to taking over Willowsford.
My man. So that's the whole goal.
Yeah. I looked at the market and I analyzed it, and I'd really like to learn a little bit more about Willowsford from you. But, I looked at the market when I dissect, I'm a stats guy. So I looked at the market and I saw there were more homes withdrawing than sold, which to me was crazy because the homes are beautiful and the neighborhood is an it neighborhood. But I saw a lot of homes withdrawing, and I saw an average days on market is 60. Now, when we interviewed, I said, what the heck is going on over there, in that market? And we'll talk about that. But the first thing I'd like to do is I'd like you to introduce everybody to Willowsford. Where is it? What are the defining characteristics of Willowsford? I know it's the it neighborhood in the last 20 years that we keep hearing about. Tell us something about Willowsford.
So there's 4 communities in Willowsford. Okay, there's 2 on the Ashburn side, just north of Route 50, and there's 2 on the Aldie side, just south of Route 50. So if you come out west, if you're coming 50, you go past Chantilly, past South Riding. There's a little community called Stone Ridge, and then right after that, you're going to get into kind of Willisford territory once it starts getting a little bit what you call country out here. You can also take Braddock Road in. My community, I live in what's called the Greens. That's actually off of Braddock Road. So if you keep on coming down Braddock Road, you pass Centerville, you pass Stone Road, you keep on going down. You're gonna pass Dead Man's Curve. You're gonna go up that, and you can go past Cox Farms. Keep on going past South Riding. You're gonna end up hitting Aldie. So the 4 communities are called the Greens and the Grove, which both of those are in Aldie, and then there's the Grant and the Grange. The Grant are the really expensive, bigger estate style homes. I mean, you're looking 6,000 to upwards to 11, 12,000 square foot homes. I mean, there's some monsters out there. They're sitting on anywhere from a half acre to 2 acre to 3 acre. Actually, I think they actually have 3 acre lots in the Grant. The Grange is more situated in Ashburn. That can go anywhere from a third of an acre to a full acre as well. And then you have the Grove, which can be, 0.2 of an acre, anywhere to about a half an acre. And then you have where I'm at the Greens, where the majority of the homes are half acre lots. And you're looking around, the 5,000 to 7,000 square foot home range in that market. The reason why Willisford is such a popular community and why so many people want to move out this way is because of all the amenities. You have 2 pools, cabana style pools, where you can go, and it's high luxury with water fountains everywhere, a kid's pool, an adult pool, and a baby pool. You have concession stands that you can QR code scan it and get food brought to you at the pool, as well as we have a beautiful community center, a lodge community center that holds weddings overlooking Willisford Lake. I mean, you're talking about amenities. There's a zip line, there's a splash pad, there's
Forget all that. Can we fish
all
in
that,
lake?
all that. I can go down the list, miles and miles of hiking and biking trails. We can
fish out of that lake.
Yeah, and you can fish out of there's like 30 different lakes, and they're actually managed by an aquatic engineer who makes sure that they're stocked.
All right. Well, why didn't you tell me that? I brought a fly rod out with me when we came out to sea.
Hey man, come on out.
I will. I'll bring some fishing gear tomorrow, and we'll have a meeting. Let Julie take some pictures, and then we're gonna go get some fish. But so a lot of people come out. There's a lot of amenities to these things, and let's talk about the price range and the price points. So basically, your South Ridings would be one price point. Then the higher price point would be Willisford, which is a move-up community in that area. Where do a lot of your when we're listing a house, we identify where our buyer pool is coming from, and then we outbound our marketing to that buyer pool. So in Vienna, it would be Arlington. Where is your buyer pool? Where are we targeting buyers coming into Willisford?
Yeah, so number 1 is east, right? There's a lot of people that come actually from South Riding or Stone Ridge into Willisford because they know about it.
Right.
Then there's people who haven't ever heard of Willisford, but their friends live there. And then they come out of their nice house in Arlington. They're like, whoa, what is this place? And we've brought people from there. So yeah, it comes from the east on over to the west, and that's the majority of it. And then there's a lot of out of town people. And people within their company tell them, hey, look, if you're going to live anywhere in Loudoun, you're going to, Willisford is the hottest spot right now.
So are they basically move up buyers with kids or move down buyers that are coming from bigger houses? I assume they're move up buyers.
Yeah, the majority are move up buyers. They want a kid friendly neighborhood, with dog parks. We have brand new schools. So the majority of the families are young families that are moving up from their first home to their forever home type deal. And that's kind of what we're seeing. There is a community of people stepping down, but that's the only reason why is because they can be around their grandkids, and that's the majority of those.
That's the key, is get around the grandkids.
Yeah.
So tell me, why are homes on average selling for 60 days? I mean, I am perplexed because I look at some of the homes and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's not their looks. What is your assessment of why are these homes? What's the problem out there?
Well, okay, so as you know, what sells a home? The price, the condition of the home, right? Of the property. I think what was happening was, that trickle up, trickle up, trickle up, and then it started to plateau, and now we're starting to see like a little bit of a downturn, a little bit, but agents are still pricing them up here. They're pricing them like they were back in the spring, in February, March.
Not May anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're not, you're right, we're not there anymore. And people understand that. The affordability is down, right? With interest rates going up, you're talking about a 2-3% increase on $1 million home. And it's thousands of dollars extra a month.
Yeah. Most of your buyers coming out there, are they putting down a lot of cash, or are they doing a big finance?
So it's mix and match, but the majority are doing a big finance right now.
Yeah.
Still.
So it does have a little bit more effect on them because the cost of money is up, and that means they can buy less.
Of course, like I said, they're younger families, and they have a nice chunk, but they don't have that 20, 30 years of work slate, and they can put all cash offer. Now we have some of those, but it doesn't happen that often.
Now you talked to me about some of the agents wanting people to invest $20,000 and $30,000 to fix up their house to sell it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're only 5-6 years old, right? I mean, aren't your houses out there built in 2016, 17?
Yeah, I think the oldest house out here is 14, but really the majority of them were built 2017 or later. So yeah, we're looking at 4 or 5 year old homes. I am not going to name any names, but there are agents that ask their clients to put $20,000-$30,000 into the property. But what that does is it screws the client, and it makes the agent look like a rock star because they have this new beautiful home with accent walls and shiplap and new light fixtures and all that stuff, and it makes them look like a rock star, and they really don't get the return
Right.
that they did for investing in that.
And I guess there's nothing that irritates me more than when agents do something and makes them look good and hurts a seller. I mean, we have agents that will overprice a house so that it sits on the market for 60, 90, 120 days because the sign in the front yard is good. But anything that goes over that first weekend, that first 10 days, we know that it's a downward cycle on value and pricing. So, we try and get it priced correctly, spend only the money that will return like a 7-to-1 return. But I'm just trying to figure out, our big problem maybe in Vienna is we're selling a home where the paint is dated and we need current paint. But basically, I've been in those homes. You have current paint, you have current lighting, you have current plumbing, you have current flooring, you have current everything. And it baffles me why somebody, I guess, is it an interior designer that comes in and says, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, this is going to look great? Is that what it is?
So, some agents they're not full-time agents like you and I, where we know how to sell a home. They think they're the stager. They think they're a designer. They think they're a contractor as well. And they have all these pockets. So they come in and they're like, hey, we need to, put a huge, like I had a client say that this agent came in, she's like, oh, we need a picture to fill up this wall. For what we sold it in the first weekend, and we didn't do any of that stuff, So, they want to make their job easier. So they're going to say, hey, you spend the money. So now I can sell it quick, and it still doesn't sell.
But yeah, and then it doesn't sell. And then it sits on the market. And then before you know it, it's the downward spiral of price, lower the price until that thing hits. So again, one of the reasons I'm excited to come in and work with you is we're going to fix that. So nobody's going to launch their house in Willowsford as far as we're concerned, unless we've done our predictive analysis, we've done our homework, we know we have buyers coming in, we got plenty of amenities. That house that you're looking at for 1.35 million in Vienna sells for 1.75 million. So we're going to make sure that doing the predictive analysis that we have somebody coming in to buy that house. Now, once you get people competing to buy that house, that's when you get the best price, you get the best terms. Another thing we're going to do, Ferris, is, you go to our masterminds meetings with us as well. I talked about it the other day, that we're going to do that 6-point inspection prior to, because we found that everybody now that has a little leverage, the buyers have a little leverage, is wanting home inspections. What that does is it gives a buyer time to get cold feet, find another house, walk from for whatever reason they want. You know, like I said, we had six houses. Five of them got the inspections. All of them sold. None of them had home inspections. One of them was from 1909. So they all went to settlement happily. The one beautiful big 1.75 or $1.8 million house was only 8 years old, and they had a home inspection and it kicked out. Now, we fought to get that buyer back, but we were looking down the barrel of an $80,000 loss. I mean, clearly there was a 90% chance we were going to lose $80,000. So at that point, I said, you know what? I don't care how new your house is. We're going to go through the 6-point inspection. We're going to have it there for the buyers. If there's anything wrong, we can fix it. There shouldn't be, but if there is anything wrong, we can fix it. And when we get clear to go, now we can get those contracts where they don't have to have a 7 or 10 day void only period where they can walk for whatever reason. We want to lock them down. And that's a strategy that's worked. And we're going to bring that to Willisford as well. Okay. All right. Tell me, so Kelly lives, as you know, in Round Hill, Percyville area, and they've got all these great places that they're going to. And I'm so jealous because I look on, Facebook and see all the reels of everybody having a great time out there. Tell me some of your go-to, first, let's say some of the go-to places that you would, if I was leaving Fairfax County, coming out to Loudoun County for a day, where would I want to go? What would I want to see?
Right. So, I mean, let's talk about food first, because food's going to drive a lot of people out here. So, obviously, you can go to Hammer Down Barbecue, which is right off of Route 50 right there, which is delicious. Or you can go a little bit further out to Gilbert's Corner. So Gilbert's Corner is the cross section between Route 50 and Route 15. So on the weekends, if you go there, they have authentic barbecue. They have dessert, pies and fresh donuts and all the goodies you want. If you go up 15, you go about a half a mile up, you're going to hit Quattro Goomba. Quattro Goombas has pizza food. It's a brewery / winery. It's all outdoors. You can see the beautiful houses out in Creighton Farms when you're in the backyard out there. You can go up the road a little bit further. There's Stone Tower Winery,
my favorite.
Yeah, which is gorgeous. If you ever seen the grounds there, I mean, it's absolutely stunning. If you head north, you go to Old Town Leesburg, which is beautiful, or you come back down 50, go to Old Town Aldi. You can hit the Aldi General Store, get a nice breakfast sandwich for yourself.
Yeah.
Then you can hit, I don't know, there's Green Hill Winery, there's Kana Winery.
Other than Stone Tower, which I love, the Petit Verdot. Other than Stone Tower, what's the best winery you think out there?
So I as far as wine goes, I'd go Green Hill. So right before you hit Middleburg,
right?
It's literally right there on the left-hand side, right off of Route 50. You can't miss it. The wine is probably some of the best local wine that I've had. There's also Boxwood Winery, which is right off of. If you go down 50, you're going to take a left at like the third light in Middleburg, and you'll hit Boxwood there as well. So. And then you can go past Middleburg, and there's an awesome place called Lost Barrel. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's a brewery where you can be sitting at a fire pit. You put in the QR code, and they deliver beers and food and
wow.
all the stuff out to you while you have a nice little fire, and you're out there while the kids are running around playing football or doing whatever they like to do. So it's gorgeous. Yeah.
Let's talk about, right now it's fall and everybody's going to the pumpkin patches and all. And I keep seeing Kelly and, the, whatever you call them, the hay rides and all that stuff. Where's a good place for people to bring them? I know Cox's is great.
Yeah. So Cox is close by. Unfortunately, Ticonderoga just closed down this past year. That was another hit out this way. Yeah. There's another one you can go to, actually a farm ride at the Leesburg Animal Zoo. So there's a zoo over there that you can do that, or you can go all the way out to Bluemont, head out there to Bear Chase Country and where you can do hay rides on some of the farms out there, out past Percyville.
You're a Fairfax County guy, and you tell me once you moved out there, you never come back to Fairfax County.
Dude, I grew up in Centerville. I'm a Fairfax County guy for sure. And when my wife was like, "Hey, we're gonna move to Willowsford," I said, "Willows where?" And then we came out, and I absolutely fell in love with just the beauty of the neighborhood and how they keep it so aesthetically pleasing and spread out. Everything's spread out. I mean,
Yeah.
2,400 homes, but you wouldn't even feel it.
What schools are you guys going to out there in Willisford?
So yeah, so there's two different pockets. My kids, they'll go to brand new schools. There's Light Ridge High School. If you go there Friday nights, you'll hear CEO Donnie Sampson is the voice of the Bolts, and Donnie's actually the guy who does that at Light Ridge. Willard Middle School, and then there's Hovatter Elementary, all within like 3 or 4 years, brand new.
Right.
On the north side in Ashburn, you have Independence High School, which they have spectacular athletic programs, as well as it's a great academic school to go to, highly in demand, as well as they go to Willard Middle School as well. And then I think it's Ashley, brand new. I mean, everything's brand new. I don't even know the name of elementary school out there, but or Arcola Elementary as well.
In Vienna, we have old Vienna meet new Vienna, right? So we're living next door to each other. People have been here for 30 or 40 years, and some people that just came.
Yeah.
How is the mix out there? Is there any feel of old Loudoun County versus new Loudoun County out there?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's your old Loudoun are the old farmers that don't want expansion. They want to keep it spread out, and that's the goal in Loudoun, is to keep Western Loudoun R5, 5 acres or more out there. They don't want the industrial hustle and bustle. Even though Vienna has a lot of beautiful spots, but Tyson's Corner has made it a little crowded out there. They don't want that. They want to keep Western Loudoun and Eastern Loudoun separate. So you'll see a lot more industrial on the Sterling, Ashburn, even South Riding side. But then when you get out, past Leesburg, it's going to be more spread out, more country out in Purcellville, Hamilton, Round Hill, places like that, where you're going to have that more of a country feel.
Yeah, I always say that Purcellville feels like Vienna from 1972.
Yeah.
We have a gun shop right in the middle of town. I gotta love that place. Yeah. But one thing, let me ask you something. So you see all these big data centers that are going out in Loudoun County, and you hear about the tax money that they're bringing in. I mean, this is big tax money, but they don't have kids and they're not going to school and blah blah blah. Does that help your tax base out there at all? I mean, how is it helping, hurting? What's your opinion of these big data centers out there?
Well, so they're putting a big halt to that. The conservation of Loudoun County wants to conserve the properties out here. They do not like the data centers, and actually the data centers are actually moving more towards Prince William County. Right. So all that's going down south right now. Does it help? Well, yeah, it helps bring in more funds for taxes, and it helps for schools and things like that. But people aren't concerned with that. People want the aesthetic beauty, like we talked about, of the community, and those things can really hurt your neighborhood. For instance, in the Grange, which is in Ashburn, they're building a data center right over there, and there's been a huge uproar. There's nothing that the residents can do about it. So obviously, it has hurt us a little bit, but they're doing everything in their power to cut that off, and it's slowing down big time. And now it's all moving to Prince William County. So yeah,
is there any open land other than that around Willisford where data centers could come in? I mean, because once let's say you move into a house and you look behind it and there's 4 acres, and you're like, what could go in those 4 acres? Or, what is that floodplain? Is it going to stay that way, or is it going to change? Because out there, there's a lot of land, right? So
yeah, so yes, there is a lot of land. Luckily, right now, what Willisford is, there's not much land around Willisford, because they've kept the conservancy of the community so vast that even if they did build a data center, you'd never see it, because it's acres and acres away from where you live.
Got it. So the Grange, is it hurting the Grange at all?
The Grange is the one, and as of right now, if you want to do anything around Willisford, it's got to be approved by the Willisford HOA. And that's something that the power of the HOA has done to work with Loudoun County in order to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Great. All right. Well, I got to tell you, we got a big job to do, and I don't think it's gonna be a hard job. I just think it's gonna be a fun job. We've got sellers in Willisford that are getting bad advice, in my opinion, that have their homes sitting on the market too long, that are getting too little and not getting their full market value for it. And I'm excited to come out there and fix that. I could not do this without, a really heavy hitter rock star in the neighborhood that knows the neighborhood. So let's combine forces with all of our great systems, all your great systems, and let's go help the people of Willisford.
Let's do it.
All right, buddy. Let's get it on. We'll talk to you.
All right, take care.
See you, buddy. All right, so real quick, I got about 4 minutes left. Let me go ahead and I'm going to share my screen really fast. And that was so exciting. I love that guy, man. I just love that guy. He's such a real person. All right, let's go to some of the charts real quick on the market conditions. Stop that. All right, let's light this up. Hopefully you can see this. So, we're currently sitting at 45% of the homes are under contract right now. Again, a buyer's market. I don't know why this isn't loading correctly, but let me try it one more time. Try and load it up so you can read the numbers. There it is. I'm going to leave it like this, okay? Because I know you can see that, but I'll just leave it like this. So 45 and 45, we're still sitting at 45% of our homes are under contract. Okay, now the reason, so it's not really a buyer's market. It's not really a seller's market. The last 4 or 5 houses we put on have all sold in the first weekend. We got the price that we wanted. We literally hit the price right on the head. 5 contracts, all within $10,000 of each other. So we were right on the price. So if you put it on for the correct price, it's going to sell. Let me tell sellers something. Don't have high expectations. When you put it on the market and 20 people walk in the door and 5 people put in contracts and 30 people come to open houses, the market will tell you what the price is. The market will tell you what the home is worth. A real estate agent walking in the door cannot tell you. I'm definitely one of the better pricers that in the market because I really focus on that. And yet the market's going to speak and the market's going to tell us what it is. The only thing we can do is the job of the realtor is to get people in the front door, present the home correctly, get the right people in the front door, and then handle contracts in the best interest of the sellers. So that's our job. And at 45%, we're still in a neutral market. Here's why everybody feels that the market is so bad. Vienna, okay, for October is down 36% on the new listings. And you can see this is Fairfax County, this is Loudoun County, this is Prince William County. So a lot of sellers are saying, well, I don't want to sell my house if I got a 2.5% mortgage and move to a house where I'm going to get a 7% mortgage, which in fact is about a 6%. 6% is the going rate. So a lot of people are just choosing not put their house on the market. This is the third quarter, July, August, and September. Sales are down and are going to stay down about 25 to 30%. So the reason why people think, the market is down is just there's less inventory and there's less sales due to the less inventory. So, but there are buyers out in the market, but that makes this graphic, this probably more than anything made me say that we're going to go out and start putting top producing agents in all these markets and help these sellers. I mean, 46% of the homes under $1 million in Vienna withdrew unsold, 42% over. I mean, these are horrible rates. And I will tell you, this is standard stuff. I mean, 40% withdrawal because when a realtor wants to get a house, wants to get that listing, really wants to get that listing, they will list it at what the sellers want to list it for. So that's a mistake. That's a huge mistake. Overpricing houses. Let me get back to this one thing here. Just one sec. I can't see you all. Okay. So to get the listing, they overprice it. And that's okay with them because if it sits on for 2 months or 3 months, that's fine because their sign is in that front yard and they really like that. That's fine. That's not fine. It's not fine for the sellers. Let's price them correctly. Let's stage them without putting in a lot of money. Let's just do the cosmetics. Let's bring it current. Let's bring up current lighting, current paint, simple stuff like that. And as we heard from Ferris, their model out there is let's invest $20,000 or $30,000 and make it look really good. You're not going to get that money back. That's not coming back. People are looking at percentage of assessment. They're looking at price per square foot. They may like a house, but I'm going to tell you that that kind of interior design work does not pay. So let's not get involved in that. So we'd like to welcome Ferris Eways to our team to bring these messages out to his market in Willisford. We are going to start working with other agents in other markets, Dominion Valley, Piedmont, Potomac Falls. We will start working around the area and tag teaming with really successful agents in their area. And then we'll just start dominating certain markets. And we're not doing this because we want a whole network of number ones, which we do. We're doing this because every time we can go into a market and increase market share, we help sellers price the homes correctly, make the top dollar. My name is Casey Samson. You've been listening to Coffee with Casey. We welcome Ferris Eways onto our team today. And I'll see you again next Thursday at 10:30. If you're looking for me, I'm at 703-508-2535. I'm unavailable today because I'm going to try and take some money from my brother on the golf course, Danny. And so, but you can call me any other time, 703-508-2535, or you can reach out to me at an email at casey@caseysamson.com. We'll see you again next week. Bye now.